position, and you mentioned that you feel it looked like your arms were tight, okay?
Okay.
And they were tight because I think you were doing more work initially with your arms. Your arms got tighter, and at one point you tried to shorten your swing because it went back too far. So tightening your arms was sort of the way you did that. So as we swing the club away here, you can't see it as well because your arms are in the way, but you're sort of listed on your right leg more. If I was taking a picture of you from behind, your right hip would probably be higher than your left.
Okay.
Okay, so your weight, majority of your weight, I'd say maybe 52% would be on your right leg, 48 on your left.
Okay.
Okay, so you want to sort of reverse that. So instead of your spine being this way in your setup, I want to be more over here, the base of your spine to the left. So we're going to move you, just going to shift you more in that direction with your left hip and your base of your spine.
Okay.
Okay. So then we can swing into your right leg. You're already into your right leg somewhat, and you shift more into your right leg as we go back. Okay, now I like this lower body motion, but I want to start from a little different position because I like how you shift into your right leg.
Okay.
But as you shift into your right leg, we want to get the sense when we shift that we're not moving up and off it. So if we look at your head position, Sandy, as we go back, where is your head moving as you do this? Sort of up
there,
to the right.
at that point.
So if the head stayed in that box and went down, how would that be accomplished? So when we make that shift, we got to feel when we make that shift that the left side is not raising, but more collapsing. So you're going to feel your left side, particularly your left shoulder, going more down in this direction on the backswing. Yours tends to go up. Okay. So that's what moves you up and off it. And also, we get up here to the top. You can see at the top of your backswing, the club has only gotten to here. That's a 5 or 6 iron. Ideally, we'd be more about here. Okay, now how's that going to be accomplished? By letting the right elbow cock the left wrist and bend the right wrist. What I mean by that, when you bend your right elbow in the backswing, it does two things. It cocks your left wrist as you bend your right elbow, put the club back and set your right wrist. So wrist action is engaged through that right elbow bending. Okay, so if you're like going to throw a ball, like I showed you before, you sort of do that by moving from the elbow and the wrist. It's sort of a compound motion of the both. So when you're in this position at the top, that's where we're trying to get to. You get a little bit more there, and you're already there. We did that this morning, and you got that there. Okay. So as we progress now on the forward swing, let's watch what happens. As we start back, okay, see that motion right there? That's a good motion. You're shifting back to your left side. Okay, you're shifting back to where you actually started. Okay. Now what I mean by that, if I take a look at this position, that's your impact position. Okay. There's a lot of good stuff here. Your hands and arms are in great position. You're shifted on your left leg coming off your right leg. Okay, you see that? So if I take you back to address, and we take a picture of your address position here now, this is your address position. Okay?
Okay.
This is your impact position. Okay?
Okay.
So what do you see as the difference being? Address?
What's that left?
Impact.
It's the left hip.
Okay, so you're shifting from your right leg to more be on your left leg, aren't you? Okay, so how much do we shift? So if I put a line, basically, your hip bone right there, your ball and socket joint of your hip, is somewhat inside your knee and definitely inside your ankle.
Okay.
That's supposed to be the way we stand. Okay, they're not lined up. They'd be lined up, you'd be on it. So we're going to shift at impact to be where?
You want to shift that far?
Yeah, you're shifting. Actually, you want to get farther.
Oh, really?
We want to get to a point at impact that our left hip, left knee, and left ankle are in line more. So we want to get from here to be more in line at that point. So you can get shifted even farther. So at an impact position, we're going to shift you more forward. What I mean is you're going to see a lot more forward movement of your hips. So if I'm putting a line basically outside your left hip, see it right here? There's your left hip. Outside your left hip. We want to advance past that more. So your left hip really didn't advance much. What it did was turn. See, remember here's the hip right here. The hip's not going to move past that line. Actually, it's going to stay inside it. You moved your leg more. I want you to get the sense of that hip's moving over there more. Okay?
Okay.
So I want to give you a picture as a reference. Just to show you this picture, I want to give you a picture as a reference for how much advancement of the hips. We're going to take a look at a swing that sort of shows this quite a bit. It's Freddie Couples, but I want you to see this. I want you to see his address position of his left hip, okay? There's his left hip position at address.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to take a picture of that. And then we're going to go to his impact position.
Wow, you almost to the right leg. Almost to the right hip.
exactly. So there it is at address. Watch how far his right hip advances to where his left hip was. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
That's where I want you to get more of that. I want you to feel that advancement. Don't be afraid to feel that much movement down here.
Okay.
Because if not, we're going to tend to be more with our arms and to tighten up our arms. Okay, we get to that position. So we're advancing that far forward. Yeah?
Okay.
So if we take a look at his impact position and we take a look at your impact position, let's go back to you. You can see where you're sort of looking to being back on your right leg, he's completely on his left leg.
Right.
Okay, so
He's
that's
already up on his
understand
toe.
how that body works. Okay.
Okay.
That's good. That's what I want you to see. So as we come through, okay, you're really up off your left heel. See that left heel off the ground? So that tells me not enough weight is shifted forward.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to work towards, getting into that position. So you're really up off your left heel there. You're really not forward and on your left leg as well as you could be. Okay, so that's balance. All right.
Okay.
Now let's take a look at you from the next position from behind. No, that's not it. We're going to go one more. Here we go. So we're looking at you from this position. From this position, posture-wise, you're bent from your hips. Okay, and if I draw a line from your base of your spine up to the sky, you can see how you come off the top of your spine right there. That's that other angle I was talking about. So you're also bent from here. That's important. So you're in good position there. Your arms are going to hang. You got a little bit of tension in your arms. You let them hang a little bit more underneath your shoulders.
Okay.
And again, if I look at your balance here, I say if I come up and give you a little nudge, you'd fall back a little bit towards your heels.
Okay.
Just ever so slightly. So we want to get the sense that as that
More
tailbone
forward.
is sticking out this way, the sternum's got to be sticking out more that way.
Okay.
You want to get on the balls of your feet more, not on your heels.
Okay.
So we'll take a look at this back swing and down swing. Okay, so the path of the swing, we want to get as good as we can back and forth on the same. So I like this angle here. So the shaft angle basically is coming a little bit out of your shoulder here, okay, down to the ball. That's where I want to be. You're a little bit, the shaft angle to be on that. You're a little bit above it. So then as you come down, you're even more above it. See it?
Uh-huh.
So ideally, when we swing this club back, we want to basically be on the shoulder or slightly underneath it.
Okay.
Because you're just coming down a little steeper. Why? It's because your arms are doing the work. So if your arms are doing the work, they're going to tend to work out. When you make this shift, when you're at the top of your backswing, you make this shift to your left side, where's the club working? It's going to work more down and inside. So that's not an arm correction, that's a leg and lower body correction. So that's what we're working on through the swing. So if we want to take a look, I'll give you a real good example of the path of your swing. To give you this clear picture of this, I'm going to put this up here in this little different sequence. You'll see your motion of the club head as you swing the club back and forth. So as we start the club back here, I'm going to put a little tracker on this. Watch this. See the club head coming back where it's at?
Mm-hmm.
See where it's at there now in your backswing? Now watch where it comes down versus where it goes back. Ideally, we like to come back pretty much on the path we went up on.
I'm going inside the path.
You're actually coming outside the path.
Oh.
So here's where you went back on, this line. See where you're coming down now?
Yep.
See the club head where it's at? Here's where it went back in that stage. So it's way outside and across, isn't it? A lot of that came from that tension in your right arm.
Okay.
That arm work. So we really got outside. You see the club how far outside it is?
Right.
You really can't hit an effective shot from way out there. The club head's got to be back in here more.
Okay.
Okay, so I just wanted you to see that. And that's going to change. You're going to see a change in that as we go along here through the week. We'll put this on here again. But that's what I want you to be aware of. So we have it on here beforehand what we needed to work on. Okay? So what we're talking about in your swing is number one is understanding weight shift and how your arms are working. Okay? You have any questions about anything?
I don't think so. I won't have them until I
want you to watch this now. As you swing the club away, so you want to keep that arm straight too long. See, that arm should be bent at that point. You're really not getting any bend in the elbow. You bent the wrist and swung from the shoulder. You didn't get any hinging of the elbow.
Okay.
Okay. So when I'm going to come in here, basically, I'm going to put you in position. Put your left arm behind your back. And see, your arm goes away from the shoulder. Okay. Now here, it's got to start bending. The wrist and elbow got to fold more. It's too late.
Okay.
And now I'm going to sort of show you the correct motion here. When I come in, it's going to get you to see where that's at. And it may feel very short and sort of choppy to you. doing good through the ball, but we can get more speed out of the backswing. So as we make the arm swing away, see that motion right there? That's as far as you can go with your arm straight. So I've moved your arm from here, there it is, it started here. See that? That's basically a hinge from the shoulder. Okay, now when we go farther, the wrist is going to start to flex and the right elbow is going to bend. Watch what I'm doing here. As we go up from here. See the wrist bending and hinging right there. So we're at the top. See that position of the elbow? It's almost like a 90-degree angle.
Okay.
You can see this elbow is from here to here. And you get the club shaft here, so it's almost like you have a perfect box there, don't you?
Okay.
So you're going to get this wrist to hinge this way, this elbow to bend.
So otherwise you get up to this point.
There you go. Good. Now you're still going to be turning your torso and everything with that, but see, that's the position we're going to get into. Because if you don't do that, what you're going to tend to do is use your back and everything else to get the club up.
I come off my feet, and I couldn't figure out why. I kept coming off, pulling myself off my feet. That's the reason I shortened the backswing down, to keep myself on my feet.
Now, see
but
got you in
I
that
wasn't going
there.
too
Let's
far.
That's better. That's better. See where the club is getting to? That's where it should be. And that's where the elbow is going to be. Now remember, your left arm is going to be checkmate against that, so you're not going to get that hand that high. It's basically going to be more a little short than that when you put your left hand on it. But that's the position you want to have. There. Now once there, now fold. There you go. See that motion where the club, actually when you think about it, look at how the club would be way out here, okay? Think about where the club would be. Way out here where the club head would be. But what happens, the club head gets accelerated faster than the hand. So the club head travels from there to there, okay? And the hand only travels from here to here. How's that going to happen? It has to happen through that flexion of the wrist and the elbow.
Okay.
So we got to get some speed in that club head from here to here. And as we come down, you're going to sense that unloading right in there. It straightens it out, boom. The impact.
Okay.
Okay? Now as we come back down to the ball, see that straightens out there. Now, see where your right hand is there right now?
Yeah.
Sort of like this. Now what would the club face position be?
Open.
Open. So that right forearm, at this point, the other thing we want to work on is the pronation of this right forearm in here, that the palm would rotate to the ground more. Through there. Okay, so you'd have that right forearm pronating as you went back. See that set up? Only thing I'm going to say is you got to get a little bit less flex in those knees. See this, a little bit of flex, too much flex in these. We still want to get too much in here from your knees. We want to get the sense that we don't have as much angle here than we do here. We don't want those to be the same. You have more in your knees than you do in your spine. Okay, so again, you got to stick that tailbone up in the air more. Okay, so I'm going to come in here and sort of straighten your legs up a little bit. And your arms are always sort of pushing out. And that makes sense because when you get like this, you have to push your arms out to get to the ball.
Okay.
So we're going to let your arms hang more there, Sandy, from the top. So I'm going to come in here and just give you a little shove back in your knees. And watch where your arms and hands go when I do this. I'm going to straighten your legs out, and I'm going to bring those hands and arms down underneath you more. So when we do that, we're going to lean more forward from the top, which I'm pointing out there. So when we look at the top of your spine, now here's the base of your spine. Okay, you're bent from the base, you're bent in your hips to get the base of your spine over, but you're also bent from up here. See that? So that angle is very important. You're not getting enough of that angle.
Okay.
And when you get just from your knees, you're not getting that thing down here. That's it. So you're letting your arms just hang. Okay, letting your arms just hang. Okay. We're off the balls of your feet. Straighten your legs. Now bend. Don't be afraid to bend over there.
Okay.
And pulling you down. Letting your arms too far away from you. You're going to feel like you're leaning more forward. I mean, think about it again. If I said you're standing here on the edge of a diving board, right here where your feet are, you look like you're going to dive in the pool or away from the water.
Well, I look like I'm going backwards.
You're leaning away from the water. We want to lean towards it. We want to lean out more in this direction, towards where that ball is. You're leaning away from it. Okay. It's going to make a big difference for you when you do that. That's just a matter of getting a comfort feeling with that by doing it and doing it and doing it. Now, as you swing this club back here now. I like that position, boy. That is so much better there. That right elbow bending. See where the club is?
Okay.
Not going past parallel. That's a good position. Very good. Now watch your right forearm. See it? Look at the toe of the club. See where the toe of the club is? You weren't doing that before. You're coming with this right arm sort of in a supinated position, laid back, and the face would open and block the ball to the right. The more you hit it to the right, what would you do with your swing? You start trying to pull it back with your shoulders, and that's where you got that sense of coming over the top of it.
Okay.
Related to this face position. That's an excellent position right there. Your right heel is released, club's released. There's a correlation there. Look, as I'm going this way with my right leg, this right forearm's going in. I tend to go this way. I tend to want to hang back here.
Right.
So that's a very good position. That's exactly where you want to be instead of the face being open. That's good. Excellent. Now we look at it from the front view. I want to get the tension out of your arms where you're pushing those elbows together. Now, you felt like you were really loose and sloppy here.
Yep.
I said, just let your arms hang.
Still.
Look how they are. Okay. Now your arms are hanging. When you tighten your arms up, this space between your both elbows almost goes away.
Right.
I want to see some space in there. I want those arms to hang that freely from your shoulders. That we're not getting these shoulder blades up here tight in the top of your neck. Because then you don't let your arms swing, and that makes you raise up with your spine.
Okay.
That's a real good setup position right there. You probably feel like you're just smuggling watermelon there, but you just let your arms hang, just like that. Good. Watch here through the ball. See the toe of the club? That's excellent. So your right forearm is now, compared to where we were.
Okay.
That's why that ball didn't go to the right. We